Hi everybody, I'm Robert LaRocca, you know me. Today we're going to be taking a look at the recently released autobiography, Into the Void, written by Geezer Butler. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I'm a pretty big Geezer fan, as you can see by my bass and some of my Black Sabbath recordings collection. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss any more music-themed videos. On the front of the cover, see if I can hold it up there. That's pretty good. On the front of the cover, we have a nice shot of Geezer, presumably on stage with the fog. Excuse my shaking there. With the fog. Playing his BC Rich Eagle bass. And on the back cover, we have a photo of Geezer posing with his signature Lakeland bass. The subtitle of the book, From Birth to Black Sabbath and Beyond, is an accurate title. The book begins with Geezer reminiscing about his childhood growing up in Aston, which is an area in the city of Birmingham, England. Probably something like the borough of Brooklyn, New York, but more scenic. The economy was apparently not so great, so there are a lot of anecdotes that depict his childhood, citing some instances of racism and violence, as well as his love for football and notes on Catholicism. The rest of the book tends to be mostly about Black Sabbath, as one would expect. There are quite a few spicy nuggets chronicling drug use. Also, Geezer remarks about his experience with the supernatural, or unexplained occurrences. Some of those are very interesting. He speaks often about his veganism and describes his 2 marriages and his children. Geezer points out that he wrote the book, and there was, of course, an editor who cleaned up his writing, which one should always use, but it still feels like Geezer talking. You can almost imagine the accent. Apparently, some of the more provocative historical facts were omitted because they were deemed by the publisher to have been possibly offensive. I am a bit curious, but I think the book reads just fine the way it is. Some photos are included, printed on glossy paper, which is a nice touch. Photos of Geezer as a boy and his family, bass guitars of interest, and some of his wife and children. Very few photos of him with the other members of Black Sabbath. There's one group shot and a rather interesting photo of him and Ozzy posing together. The major aspect I feel is missing from the book is the musical nitty-gritty. I'd like to have heard more about how he developed his unique style, possibly what were the challenges that he overcame in terms of technique, more about his lyricism, who were his lyrical influences. Although I love all the personal details, I suspect that most of the people who are interested in this book will care about the music he recorded with Black Sabbath. Fairly speaking, he does mention his favorite songs and what certain lyrics are about. Some of these specifics are very interesting. The book contains many references to Black Sabbath's financial situation, their problems with management, and the perceived downslope of the band, which followed heavy drug use and personal issues between the members. Toward the end of the book, Geezer writes about his experiences with his solo project, GZR. If you are very into Black Sabbath, I would recommend that you acquire this book. I'm certain there will be information to which you will refer again. Maybe you'll want to read it again or loan it to a friend. For myself, I enjoyed reading it once. I doubt if I'll read it again. I actually checked this copy out from my local library and finished the book in about 4 days. There were definitely a few surprises, so I can confidently say that if you are interested in Black Sabbath, you will surely want to check it out.